You have Africa, Australia, the Americas, even parts of the Arctic. From the looks of this map, the world is on fire. Hi, I'm Femi Okay.
I'm Malika Bilal, and you're in the stream. This is a look at all of the global wildfires burning this year. Today, we chat with a panel of experts about the rise of these fires and the efforts to prevent them.
Be sure and join our conversation. You can tweet us at AJ Stream or leave your comments in our live YouTube chat.
Every summer, parts of Australia go up in flames. In hot, windy conditions, wild bushfires are common. But this season, an extended drought has caused the fires to spread more rapidly than usual.
One of the hottest summers on record set the stage for one of the wildest autumns ever. Dozens of cities hit record highs in October, especially in the southeast where it hit triple digits. And it was a global heat wave that stretched across much of Central Europe and Asia.
And further north, properties on Queensland's Sunshine Coast are under threat as well, as more than 35 blazes rage across the state. Thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes in Tewantin.
The bushfires in New South Wales and Queensland cover a 1,000-kilometre stretch of countryside. Police have ordered 4,500 people to leave their homes along Queensland's Sunshine Coast. Local radio stations have stopped normal programming. Instead, they're broadcasting advice about how to survive a house fire. Local officials say they're struggling to get the bushfires under control.
Across the globe, wildfires are raging at record levels. The cause, scientists say, is the global climate crisis. But how is the climate crisis contributing to these fires, and how do we handle them once they start?
Vera de Ruyter and Peter Rosenfield stop to take photos, thinking they're driving into a storm. The clueless couple from Cheshire, England, suddenly smell smoke.
Close the window, love, because we're going to bloody suffocate.
The smoke gets thicker, but still they don't move.
I am actually quite frightened because I know how fast fires. You wonder about
on this, yeah, no,
you
but
wonder
this
about
wind.
people killing. Imagine the speed.
Cars flee in the other direction, then one of them stops.
Yeah.
Turn around, mate. Get this way. Flames out here now.
There's flames.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
They take the advice and only then turn on the radio.
Emergency warning for a bushfire burning under catastrophic conditions.
Other cars can be seen on the roadside, unsure which way to head. As they drive, day turns to night.
Look at this.
They're now fleeing the outer edge of the Pinery Blaze, which in November destroyed 90 homes and claimed 2 lives.
Oh no. Don't Peter, we're in serious trouble here.
Their engine splutters as ash chokes the air.
Jesus Christ.
With the glow of the flames nearby, they drive on into the unknown, finally emerging in a convoy of cars looking for safe haven.
Where do I head, my friend? Where do I head? Where do I go?
Keep going, follow everyone else.
The couple is now safely back home in England, shocking friends with their home movie of their fire fright down under.
The world is facing a clear and existential threat, a climate emergency. That's the stark warning by a global group of 11,000 scientists. Their report gives simple and immediate steps that could make a difference. They say the climate crisis is accelerating faster than most scientists expected. Without action, they say, large areas of Earth could become uninhabitable.
There are 150 million people currently living in cities that could be underwater by 2050.
As wildfires continue to rage in California, and a shocking new report finds that many coastal cities will be permanently flooded by rising sea levels, Chile's President Sebastián Piñera has cancelled the upcoming UN Climate Summit. The 2-week summit had been scheduled for December in the Chilean capital of Santiago, which has seen weeks of mass protests against the Chilean government's neoliberal policies. The UN is now looking for an alternative venue.
It's being called New Delhi's airpocalypse. The air is so toxic in the Indian capital, a city of 18 million people, that a public health emergency has now been declared.
The air in New Delhi is so toxic, people are being warned to stay indoors.
I'm coming from Germany and have never experienced something like this.
Authorities diverted dozens of flights from New Delhi's international airport on Sunday because pilots couldn't see through the smog. This airport worker says, "My eyes feel like they're burning, like someone put chili in them."
It is bad every winter, but this is the first time the government has declared a public health emergency.
The World Health Organization's maximum safe limit for these particles is 25 micrograms per cubic meter of air. Monday's reading in Delhi was 613.
With everything above 400 considered to be hazardous. For comparison, Berlin, the German capital, a city of around 3.5 million people, sits around 21 on the same index. New Delhi, on the other hand, is right now sitting between 400 and 700 in some parts of the city. That far exceeds the limit that anyone should be breathing.
More than half a dozen fires have burned more than 90,000 acres across the state in the last 10 days. More than 115 structures have been damaged or destroyed.
To see this valley below us, the entirety of it is up in flames. And all those flames are moving towards homes down in the valley. That is the major concern, structure protection this morning.
This brush fire in Ventura County exploding overnight, going from sparks to over 8,000 acres in about 6 hours. The so-called Maria fire threatening nearly 2,000 structures as it races up these hills.
This video purportedly shows the moment the Maria fire ignited on Halloween night. Utility company Southern California Edison says it re-energized a high-voltage power line just minutes before the fire erupted. California has been slammed all week with high wind events that helped fuel fires across the state. In Northern California, officials say the Kincaid fire that burned more than 77,000 acres and destroyed parts of wine country is now under control.
It's still raining. Boscheck, you can see I'm getting splattered right now with that red mist.
Winds like we saw overnight supercharging fires, sending them racing right past firefighters.
Resulting in an increase in the incidence of weather that leads to extreme fires, right? So the world is hotter than it used to be, and the fact that it's hotter means that fires have the ability to get much more extreme than they used to.
I'm going to throw up that map again. It's from Global Forest Watch. It's almost all of the wildfires that are happening right now. If we have a look at this, Glenn, and contemplate it, it looks quite scary. But are we going in a trend where we're seeing more wildfires happening around the world?
I think you have to be careful with that. There are areas where we certainly are.
Sure.
Western United States, Australia, Southern Australia, parts of the Amazon. There are other areas there's actually been a decrease in wildfire because we've cleared the land. We've cleared the forests and we put it into pasture land or agricultural land. So as a net aggregate, and Neil might want to comment on this, there's actually been a kind of a global decrease in fire, but that's not true for every place. Some places like Western United States, fire has ramped up this century.
Piñera's announcement comes as a dire new report warns 300 million people are at risk of being displaced due to rising sea levels, 3 times more than previous estimates. According to the study published in Nature Communications, the vast majority of the most vulnerable populations are concentrated in Asia, with China, Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand facing the gravest threat.
The study finds global sea levels are expected to rise between 2 to 7 feet and possibly more, with some coastal cities being wiped off the map.
150 million people. Why are the numbers higher than we previously thought?
Good morning, and thanks so much for having me on this to discuss this very important topic. The numbers are a lot higher than we thought because we previously had been overestimating the height of the land. We didn't know the height of the land underneath our feet, and our study makes a correction of that problem.
Okay, and so which areas of the world could be most affected?
This is mainly a story about Asia. More than 85% of the people in the world on land vulnerable to either falling below the tides or facing regular flooding live in Asia.